Welcome to Hockey Whiz Talks podcast. Today I'll be talking about what is wrong with the New York Islanders. The New York Islanders are a borderline playoff team that has many bad contracts. Fortunately for them, they have one of the best coaches in the league in Barry Trotz and one of the best GMs in the league in Lou Lamoriello. In today's podcast, I talk about the issues with the New York Islanders and how to fix them. Here are the biggest issues with the Islanders. 1. Bad signings. 2. Terrible contracts for over-the-hill players. 3. Lack of scoring and the power play. And 4. Bad drafting in the last few years. The New York Islanders have made many bad signings that have hindered their ability to build a true contending team. Here are the worst signings by the Islanders. In 2015, Johnny Boychuk was re-signed to a 7-year deal worth $6 million per season. Johnny Boychuk had a career year after being acquired from the Boston Bruins and was rewarded with this massive deal. The first 3 years of this contract, Boychuk was a really reliable and steady top-pair defenseman for the Islanders. However, he has not been the same player since 2017. Boychuk still has 2 years left on the deal at $6 million per season. In 2016, Andrew Ladd was signed to a 7-year deal worth $5.5 million per season. Andrew Ladd was the big free agent signing in 2016. The original plan was for him to play alongside John Tavares. However, they did not mesh well at all. Ladd only has 39 goals and 72 points in 181 NHL games. He now plays in the AHL for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. There are still 3 years left on his deal at $5.5 million per season. In 2017, Cal Clutterbuck was re-signed to a 5-year deal worth $3.5 million per season. While Cal Clutterbuck is an important part of the fourth line for the Islanders, he isn't worth what he's being paid. Since the 2018-19 season, Cal Clutterbuck has saw his numbers dip dramatically, and his numbers will only continue to get worse. In 2018, Leo Komarov was signed to a 4-year deal worth $4 million per season. Leo Komarov is yet another overpaid veteran player that is not worth what he's being paid. While Komarov does have his value, he is not the same player he was in Toronto. Due to his play style, he has a lot of wear and tear on his body, which will cause a rapid decline. In 2019, Anders Lee was re-signed to a 7-year deal worth $7 million per season. The length of his contract is going to be the reason why this ends up being a bad signing. Lee is already 29, and his production will start to decline in about 4 to 5 years. By the time Lee is 34, he will not be the same player because of the abuse he takes in front of the net. In 2020, JG Pageau was re-signed to a 6-year deal worth $5 million per season. After being acquired in a blockbuster trade from the Ottawa Senators, JG Pageau was locked up to this massive extension. Pageau had a career year at the age of 27 for a bad Ottawa Senators team this year and was rewarded for his efforts. Prior to this season, Pageau had never scored more than 20 goals and 50 points, and yet he was rewarded with this contract. This contract will come back to hurt the Islanders because I think Pageau was massively overpaid. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Also visit my Facebook page, Mr. HockeyWiz777, and my Instagram, Mr. HockeyWiz77. Another major issue the New York Islanders have is that they have terrible contracts for older veteran players. The Islanders have handed out a boatload of long-term contracts to players ages 28 and up. Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, and Johnny Boychuk make a combined $19 million per season. Andrew Ladd, Jordan Eberle, and Nick Leddy make a combined $16.5 million per season. Semyon Varlamov, Josh Bailey, and JG Pageau make a combined $15 million per season. Leo Komarov, Casey Cizikas, and Cal Clutterbuck, 3 role players, make a combined $9.85 million. These players combine to make $60.85 million, and they still need to re-sign 3 key RFAs in Matt Barzal, Ryan Pulock, and Devon Toews. The Islanders are likely to lose Andy Green, who was acquired in the trade with the New Jersey Devils, and Derek Brassard, who had a great year this season in free agency. While the Islanders are top 10 in goals against this season, the Islanders have struggled to score goals, both even strength and on the power play. The New York Islanders have scored the 7th fewest goals in the league. Only Detroit, LA, Dallas, Columbus, San Jose, Anaheim, and New Jersey have scored less than the Islanders. The Isles also ranked near the bottom of the league in power play efficiency. Only Nashville, LA, Columbus, Chicago, Detroit, Anaheim, and Ottawa have been less efficient on the power play. Another major issue for the Islanders is that they haven't drafted well in the past few years. Here are the draft results from 2010 to 2016. In 2010, the Islanders selected Brock Nelson with the 30th pick. In 2011, the Islanders selected Ryan Strome over Mark Scheifele with the 5th pick, Scott Mayfield over John Gibson with the 34th pick, and Johan Sundstrom over Johnny Gaudreau with the 50th pick. In 2012, the Islanders selected Griffin Reinhart over Morgan Rielly, and Veli Polka with the 34th pick over Shane Gostisbehere. In 2013, the Islanders selected Ryan Pulock with the 15th pick. In 2014, the Islanders selected Michael Dal Colle with the 5th pick over David Pastrnak, and Josh Ho-Sang with the 28th pick over Brayden Point. In 2015, the Islanders selected Matt Barzal with the 16th pick over Thomas Chabot, and Anthony Beauvillier with the 28th pick over Sebastian Aho. In 2016, the Islanders selected Kiefer Bellows over Alex DeBrincat. The changes in the draft will have a major effect on the team moving forward. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my other podcasts on soundcloud.com/MrHockeyWiz777. In order to fix the New York Islanders, we need to go back and undo the bad signings. The Islanders don't re-sign Johnny Boychuk. Instead, they trade him to the Carolina Hurricanes for a second-round pick in 2015, Mackenzie Blackwood, and a second-round pick in 2016, Sam Girard. The Carolina Hurricanes get a top-pair defenseman to pair with Justin Falk, while the Islanders get 2 second-round picks. Rather than re-signing Nick Leddy to a 7-year deal, the Islanders will re-sign him to a 5-year deal worth $6.25 million per season. The first 5 years of his contract, Leddy was a real productive defenseman, but he has seen his production drop off significantly this season, and he still has 2 years left. The Islanders don't sign Andrew Ladd and Leo Komarov in free agency because they aren't a fit on the team. Kyle Clutterbuck does not get re-signed in 2017, so he becomes a UFA. Since the Islanders have John Gibson, they don't need to re-sign Thomas Greiss. The Islanders also don't re-sign Thomas Hickey, so he becomes a UFA. Josh Bailey is traded to the Vancouver Canucks for Jake Virtanen, Nikolai Goudobin, and a second-round pick in 2017, Jesper Boquist. The Vancouver Canucks get a veteran top-6 right winger that can help mentor their young players, while the Islanders get Jake Virtanen, a young power forward, Nikolai Goudobin, a talented prospect, and a second-round pick. Jordan Eberle and Casey Cizikas are traded to the New Jersey Devils for Jesper Bratt, Joey Anderson, and a second-round pick in 2019. New Jersey Devils get Jordan Eberle, a top-6 right winger, to pair with Taylor Hall, while the Islanders get Jesper Bratt, a very talented winger, and Joey Anderson, a checking line winger, along with the second-round pick. The Islanders no longer trade for Matt Martin because they don't have Cizikas and Clutterbuck anymore. Anders Lee is traded to the Ottawa Senators for Anthony Duclair and a conditional first-round pick in 2020 in a sign-in trade. Ottawa Senators get a proven goal scorer in Anders Lee, while the Islanders get Anthony Duclair and a draft pick. If Anders Lee scores more than 25 goals, the Islanders will get a first-round pick in 2020. Brock Nelson is traded to the Colorado Avalanche for JT Compher, Tyson Jost, Nikita Zadorov, and a second-round pick in 2020 in a sign-in trade. The Colorado Avalanche get a versatile forward in Brock Nelson that can play center and wing, while the Islanders get Compher and Jost, 2 very promising young players, and a second-round pick. The Isles don't sign Semyon Varlamov in free agency because they already have their number 1 goalie in John Gibson. The Islanders don't have any room for JG Pageau on the team, therefore they don't trade for him, and therefore they won't be signing him to that massive extension. The Islanders also don't trade for Andy Green because the Islanders are now loaded on defense. The New York Islanders make a few trades for cap purposes. New York Islanders trade Sam Girard, Adam Pelech, and a first-round pick in 2020 to the St. Louis Blues for Alex Pietrangelo and Sammy Blais in a sign-and trade. Sebastian Aho is traded to the Calgary Flames for Elias Lindholm, Andrew Mangiapane, and a first-round pick in 2020. Nick Leddy and Alex DeBrincat are traded to the Detroit Red Wings for Anthony Mantha and Joe Veleno. Shane Gostisbehere and Anthony Duclair are traded to the Nashville Predators for Kalle Järnkrok, Eeli Tolvanen, and a first-round pick in 2021. Mackenzie Blackwood is traded to the Buffalo Sabres for Linus Ullmark and a conditional second-round pick in 2022. If Blackwood wins more than 30 games, the pick is upgraded to a first-round pick. This is how the lineup looks like after all the moves. First line, Anthony Mantha, Brayden Point, David Pastrnak. Second line, Johnny Gaudreau, Mark Scheifele, Elias Lindholm. Third line, Tyson Jost, JT Compher, Eeli Tolvanen. Fourth line, Andrew Mangiapane, Kalle Järnkrok, Sammy Blais. First pair, Morgan Rielly, Alex Pietrangelo. Second pair, Thomas Chabot, Ryan Pulock. Third pair, Scott Mayfield, Devon Toews. Goalies are John Gibson and Linus Ullmark. In the system, Joe Veleno, Jesper Boquist, Joey Anderson, Noah Dobson, Philip Tomasino, and Ilya Sorokin. The New York Islanders have now assembled a legit contending team that can contend for the Cup for the next 3 years. In my next podcast, I'll be talking about what is wrong with the Nashville Predators.